Hello, good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to online classes from MGVC Arts, Commerce and Science College, Mudde Bihar. So it's from Department of Chemistry and myself is Professor Umar Farooq Halyal. So today I'm going to take for you the first class for your BSc second sem. And before going to start this class, I am requesting you to please subscribe my YouTube channel to get regular updates of your class videos. So, in today class, we are going to discussing about the first unit of your BSc second sem chemistry, that is chemical energetic. Already I sent the syllabus copy to your group, so check it. The first topic is chemical energetic, or another name for this one is energy of reaction. So let us start this topic. So first we have to know what is meant by energetics. So energetic is nothing but it is the study of energy changes that takes place in a chemical reaction. So it is a study of energy changes that takes place in a chemical reaction. The how much of energy will be changing when how to takes place or when the chemical process is undergoing. So that study we are called as energetics. Now we have to know why this energetics of chemical we have to learn, we have to study. The first one, it can lead us to understand a chemical change better. For example, what is the temperature for a reaction to occur? It means that whenever we have to going to takes place a chemical reaction, we first might be understand how much temperature or how much the pressure will have to be given for that chemical reaction. So for that particular changes occurs in that reaction is further we have to study only by this chemical energetics. The next one, it will also tell us the energy barrier that reactants have to overcome before becoming products. So here the second point is that whatever the energy barrier means whatever the energy influencer are present in that particular reaction that helps us to overcome or to get the particular products. Then energetics of a chemical reaction. So first point is that here every reactant will have a discrete amount of energy. So for every reactant that must and should have a minimum amount of energy to get ready to combine with another reactant and get undergoing for the chemical process. The next point, the rearrangement of atoms that occurs in a chemical reaction is virtually always accompanied by the liberation or absorption of heat. So here in the second point, whenever we are going to take or undergoing a chemical reaction, so in that reaction either maybe the liberation of heat or the absorption of heat will be taking place. And the next point, for whatever the chemical reaction we are going to by taking the reactants, in that case some bonds are breaking and some bonds are newly formed. That is the main chemical reaction process. Whatever in a chemical reaction process, some bonds are broken and some bonds are formed. Now we are moving for the next bit of this unit, that is review of thermodynamics and their laws. So we already knows that the definition and the laws regarding to thermodynamics. Here first we have to know what is meant by thermodynamics. Here thermodynamic is a combination of two objects. One is thermo and another one is dynamics. Here thermo means that is heat, whether it is here liberation or heat or absorption of heat taking place in a particular or any chemical reaction. And dynamics is nothing but it is motion or mechanical work. Whatever the mechanical work done by that reaction is called as dynamics. So thermodynamics, it is the branch of science which deals with conversion of heat into mechanical work and vice versa. That means it is the conversion of heat into mechanical work or mechanical work into heat. This conversion is nothing but thermodynamics. According to our bookish language, there are several definitions we have to see that. In that we have to study one or two definitions. Here thermodynamics is a branch of science that deals with quantitative relationships between heat and other forms of energy. Here thermodynamics is nothing but it is a branch of science that deals with quantitative relationships between heat and other forms of energy. And this thermodynamic study we have to based on the three laws, so it's the four laws, that is the zeroth law, first law, second law and third law of thermodynamics. Now we are moving for the objectives of thermodynamics. Here the objectives to predict the feasibility of a process, means whether the reaction is undergoing easily or not, or which are the reactants we have to use for this thermodynamic process. And the next one, to estimate the yield of the products. Whatever the yield will be coming, that yield will be we have to estimating by this thermodynamic process. The next one, to deduce some important relationship by the help of this thermodynamics. Now we are coming for the limitations. The first limitation of the thermodynamic is it deals with the properties like some matter in a bulk or macroscopic quantities and not in microscopic quantities. It means that it deals with the properties like temperature and pressure etc. that are in the bulk, that means the maximum amount, or macroscopic. Macroscopic means that is the maximum amount and not in microscopic quantities. Means this thermodynamics is relative with the properties of the large or huge amount of the quantities. and they have to relate it with the temperature and pressure, and it helps to predict the feasibility of a process but gives no idea about the time taken for the process to complete or the rate at which the process would proceed. So the second limitation is, so this thermodynamics is doesn't gives any idea about the time, means for the completion of a reaction how much time require. Okay, so that doesn't gives a clarification in this thermodynamics. Next one, the third limitation, its treatment is limited to the initial and final states of a system and is silent about the path for which the change is brought about. That is, it does not reveal the mechanism of a process. So, third limitation is, whatever the process or the chemical reactions takes place by the help of this thermodynamics, they are limited for their initial and final states of a system. Now the moving for the laws of thermodynamics. In that we have to study the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Here this states that if two bodies A and B in thermal equilibrium with another body C, then A and B will also in thermal equilibrium with each other. Here we have to take the three bodies A, B and C, like here, that is system A, system B and system C. In the first point, system A and system C are in thermal equilibrium. In the second point, system B and system C are also thermal equilibrium. Then A and B are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. And some statements regarding to the first law of thermodynamics. The first statement, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, although it may be converted from one form to the another form. So this statement we learnt in our previous classes, that whatever the energy we cannot be destroyed, we have just converted into one form to the another form. For example, our light energy is converting heat energy, or heat energy is converting light energy, or wind energy is converting into light energy, etc. And the second statement, the total energy of an isolated system remains constant, although it may undergo transformation from one form to the another form. Whenever, the third statement, whenever certain quantity of some form of energy that disappears, an exactly equivalent amount of some other form of energy must be produced. The third statement states that whatever or whichever substance or quantity we have taken, in that some energy is disappears or some energy is absorbed, so that same energy is equivalent amountly we have to get by another form. The fourth one, it is impossible to construct a perpetual motion machine, that is a machine which would produce work continuously without consuming energy. Means whatever the machine we have to take on by the help of this thermodynamic, that we have to impossible to construct by this perpetual motion machine. Next, the second law of the thermodynamics. Here first we know entropy is nothing but it is a measure of the disorder in a system. So all the systems gain entropy there over time. And this second law of thermodynamics says that the total entropy of both a system and its surrounding will never decrease. Means what if the disorderness of system, that is the total disorderness of system and surroundings, they are never decreases. And the third law of the thermodynamics, the entropy of a system approaches a constant value as the temperature approaches absolute zero. With the exception of gases, the entropy of a system at absolute zero is typically close zero and is equal to the log of the multiplicity of the quantum ground state. So third law, whatever the entropy of a pure crystalline substance is absolute zero is zero. And I am going to stop today's class. Thank you for watching. If you got any questions regarding to this, you personally message to my WhatsApp number. And again, I am telling to you, subscribe my YouTube channel to get regular updates. Thank you for watching. Stay safe in your homes. Thank you again.